Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi, and today we're going to talk about Ocean Protocol.
As suggested by another Hall of Fame member of the community.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if we have his name.
We're collecting quite the members of the community here.
Yeah, all you AI bras who are coming in.
Keep it coming.
Yes, please, because obviously we've been on the AI wave, but we haven't been like deeply ingrained all the way until recently. Like the Bittensor thing kind of like was like a theory crafted idea, like while we were having our podcast discussions, like this needs to exist. And then somebody from our comment section, if you watch our last video.
You just described Bittensor.
Yeah, so we had to look into it, and he's like, holy shit, you're right. It's like word for word.
Yeah, exactly.
But with the actual technical dynamics like built into the protocol itself to like actually feasibly make it work. And it's like, wow, this is very well thought out, very well researched. We read some research papers on it now.
Since 2016?
Yeah, so it's fundamentally one of the more important, I think, projects we've seen in a while. So now people are saying you've only just like touched the surface, you know, as far as like how deep this AI sector is going.
Yeah.
So they led us to Ocean Protocol, which is like I would say like something that's on top of what the Bittensor layer is, like a necessary component in order to even make Bittensor thrive, right?
Yeah, so we talked about Ocean Protocol earlier in the year, just because we were diving into the crypto AI sector, and we were like, let's have a look.
Yeah.
And for the most part, a lot of the projects that we saw, just in quick analysis, they were all generated post AI Mania, which is November 2022. And so then we found Ocean Protocol. They've been around since 2017. They're like, okay, this must be important. So we did a rough analysis, and we liked it. And so now we're going to go a little bit deeper, connect that into the Bittensor narrative, and see how these two projects kind of build off of each other.
Yeah, I think at first we liked it, but I guess we had a little bit of like an apprehension of like, are people really going to want to pay
or
for like
generate data? And is it going to be useful?
Is there a market for that?
Yeah.
You could foresee like at some point, it seems, because, you know, data is like the lifeblood of AI, right? So it makes sense at some point there'd be some sort of economy of people, you know, provisioning and curating data.
Yeah.
For whatever ends meet, right?
Yeah.
For the AI training system. So, doing a deep dive, I don't even think the first time we covered them, we actually found the platform itself. Now we actually looked at the marketplace of Ocean Protocol. Where's it at?
And the marketplace is right here.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't look that cool at face value.
Yeah.
But once you actually deep dive into each of these little bricks, like it's pretty interesting what's being offered in these NFTs.
Yeah, it's already off the bat really interesting, right? For example, DEX volume and detail, right? That's important if you're trying to create an app where DEX volume is important to indicate, you know, some sort of trend or something, right?
Yeah.
BTC USDT order book, you can create training or use this as training models for predictive analysis of where Bitcoin is going to lead to. Use your meme lines, as we all do, to figure out where it's going.
Look at that. Crypto projects funding data. That's a big one.
Oh, this is huge.
This would be good for us. Like if we were to create like a project evaluation, I don't know, AI.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you know, because that's what we do on these channels. You know, we like to look at projects and identify, you know, like maybe generate like a score system of like which ones are more investable or which ones aren't.
Dude, and then on top of that, you could see when all the tokens are getting unlocked, and you'll have like optimized entry periods, and not that if we're not giving any financial advice, but that's cool.
Look at that data from 2014 and updated weekly. Dude, now this is valuable. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I could see so many different like AI utilities for this information, this data set.
Yeah.
But there's no pricing yet. Damn.
Maybe it was. That's interesting because I think this section was highest VE Ocean allocations.
Yeah. Yeah. So the interface for this platform it's pretty intuitive. You know, if you've been to any NFT marketplace before, you know, it's definitely not what you would expect from an NFT like market. You know, from what we've seen, you know, most NFTs are just like, images, JPEGs, monkeys, you know, cowboys, little reptiles. I don't know, whatever you could think of. It's wacky doodle things. Yeah, literally doodles and stuff. But this is a whole different class of NFT. Like this is useful utility.
Yeah, like you need this to create your dApps.
Yes,
AI dApps specifically.
Yes,
All right, and another one I need to mention is U.S. gasoline prices weekly and update. So weekly updated. So I mean, obviously we can come up with tons of potential dApps that can be created using this data stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And so this is like community developed data.
Look at that. And it shows you like the history of the updates on the bottom.
44 sales. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it tells you every time the metadata has been updated.
That's really cool.
That's very nice.
Yeah, because if you're a dApp developer and you're using this as your basis of a dApp, you need the updates.
You want to be sure the creator, right, is maintaining his asset. Like this is his creation, right? If you have a contributor who's uploading, these NFTs and they post it and then it's been like 8 months, they haven't done a single update. That's you're not going to trust that data set anymore.
Right.
It's lost its value. So having these regular updates and having it part of the platform, like this is it's bringing reputation into it, right? Which is very important when it comes to distinguishing true information and false information, which is the big problem with AI, right?
Yeah. Okay, so so this is part of their marketplace, right? So we have highest VE Ocean allocations and we have most sales.
Right.
So the most in sales is Ocean Sex Aggregator ETH to USDT.
132 sales, dude.
Yeah, what's the price here?
It's free.
It's free.
No wonder.
Okay. Oh, this data is free to use. Please note the network gas fees still apply even when using free assets.
Very cool. So the actual thing that's being bought is that little file. I mean, it just says JSON URL.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically what you're buying, and then if you're a developer, you're able to see. That's the thing. This is why this is so interesting. Cause like, how come, when it comes to feeding machine learning algorithms or whatever, how come anybody can't just contribute information and data? Like, why do we need a marketplace for this?
Well, it has to be structured in a specific way, right?
Okay, yeah.
And that structure is not like arbitrary. Like, you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, like Joe Schmo is never going to be able to like figure out like I would really like to earn some Tau from the Bittensor network. I'd like to contribute, and I'm a smart guy. It's like I have some information I'd like to share with AI.
It's like you could be a farmer, right? Yeah. And in the farming that you do, you collect data like temperature and moisture and all that stuff, and that data could be fed into an AI for a predictive model of when you're going to get your yield and and I'm talking about real farming, right? Not only just like
yield farming.
Degen farming.
Yeah, no, you're totally spot on. Yeah.
But you need to supply that data in a specific way for the AI to actually use it. Right. It can't just be a link to a website, right? That's not enough.
Or like you can't just like take pictures of like my growth cycles of my crops. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna send this folder over to AI.
Yeah. Eventually we could get there, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, but not right now.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need AI assistance to unpackage all that data to create usable data. But that's why this platform is so important, because like you're saying, there's formatting.
Yeah.
And you need quality within these AI like feeds.
Mm-hmm.
So developers are the only ones who have the tooling at the moment to contribute this type of data, right? So having said that, this is an avenue for them to monetize that. And for people who aren't capable of doing this and still want to contribute into the broader, Bittensor or whatever AI network, you can by purchasing these NFTs. And now you're still contributing.
Yes. Yeah. So you would purchase these NFTs and you would supply a machine learning model to leverage this data and create a subsequent dApp out of it.
Yeah.
And now you have an artificial intelligence that is basing their output on this information.
Correct.
And so that's why it's extremely valuable that you continuously update this stuff. That's why when you go to ChatGPT, it only knows information up to like 2021 or 2022 now. Right? It doesn't know everything.
Yeah, this is a much more efficient way. Instead of like manually, I guess, curating like from a, a very specified organization or like a purpose, like an OpenAI probably has, much more limited scope of what they think is relevant or important.
Yeah.
As opposed to, global community contributing all simultaneously. Like, as long as there's a way to, ensure the information is, genuine, true, and it's coming from reputable sources, contributors, like the whole thing starts to come together.
Yeah. You can imagine like everyone starts participating, like the whole global economy starts participating in supplying data. Like suppliers, raw material, resources. Like, dude, this is the beginning of a potential like resource-based situation that's happening here.
Or like everybody says, you know, AI and automation is going to phase out like a lot of, you know, human, like the burdens of human labor or, you know, contribution on a lot of different, you know, things. So where are we going to present value in the future if it's not like our own like physical labor or mental labor? What are we going to do? What's valuable about us? I guess it's us like as observers, as, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a philosophical question here.
Well, philosophical and economic,
Where's our human value in the context of complete artificial intelligence taking over all our economic value that we used to input? Now they're way better at it, right? Because they got way more information, and they're able to comprehend that information in a way where it's like they just make decisions autonomously, which is what we want, really. We want them to make the right decisions.
Yeah, I guess so. You do. But there's those downside risks that everyone's afraid of, which is why like supporting a decentralized ecosystem like this makes so much more sense, right?
Yeah, because if you supply all this information to a centralized AI that's biased, right, it could be servicing the oil industry. It could be serving some industry that isn't beneficial to all humans, right? Whereas in artificial intelligence coming from a complete decentralized network, right, there's open source data that developers can see that, this information is not biased. Right. It's, you know, all that stuff. Right. So we got a valid use case here. Right. And that's what's exciting about Ocean Protocol. So we're looking at a circulating supply of 434 million out of a total supply of 600, and then max supply is 1.4. So there's like 60-ish% still to mine.
60 to 70. Yeah. I mean, there's a pretty good, you know, chunk percentage, which makes sense because, you know, this whole AI sector is so new. There has to be, you know, the incentives for the long term in order to, you know, get the contribution going.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in this sense, you know, we've seen some activity happening on the platform itself, right? For Ocean Protocol, these people who are minting these data set NFTs, they're making some sales, some revenue and stuff, but majority probably are not.
Yeah.
So you're going to need some incentive mechanism in order for even to get people to contribute data in the first place, right? So why not in the form of a token earning mechanism? So if you go to like their actual tokenomics, there's only real two utilities to the token. One is to stake, which basically grants you access to even become like a data curator in the first place. You're going to have to stake your ocean in order to get VE Ocean. And by doing that, for the longer you do it, the more you're going to earn of the actual, from the rewards emission. You know?
Yeah, and then that's what, if we go back to here, it says highest VE Ocean allocations.
Very nice.
And so this is where I guess you would leverage VE Ocean in order to purchase one of these
because the other
data sets.
Correct. If you look into all these NFTs, they're all priced in Ocean.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the other thing. It's kind of like Decentraland's Mana. You know, one of the big, you know, utilities of it. It's like everything that's being bought in that marketplace, that within that economy of that virtual world, it's all being used by that currency, right? So this is the kind of like very similar. It's a marketplace, market economy for data. So you got to have Ocean to participate in this, whether you're selling this stuff or buying it, you know?
Yeah.
So what would you do if you bought something from these guys? How would you transfer that thing you just bought into the Bittensor network? What do you think?
Well, I think you'd first have to have a use for that data, right? So you might have some sort of DApp idea that you want to leverage, but you need that data.
Yeah.
And then you need a machine learning model in order to leverage that data into something where you can just like query some information. It's like, what is the best, like if you're a farmer and you purchase all this data from different farmers across the planet, it's like, when's the best time to farm, you know, this particular crop? And it'll tell you exactly when to do it and the right conditions based on all this data. Because what happens is when you have like a completely like a farming environment in a vacuum, right? You have these perfect temperature, perfect everything in a complete vacuum. But what if you inject humans within this vacuum?
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're pumping out too much CO2 and they're polluting the environment.
Yeah.
So that changes the temperatures that you need to grow a specific crop. And so this data aggregated across the planet, feeding into this AI, you can ask AIs like, what is the perfect temperature for this crop and perfect moisture based on, all the CO2 that's in the environment based on all these like changes that are in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And you can't get that just by like, you would have to guess, right? And so yeah, this is extremely important because all these inputs, they adjust everything.
Yeah. So, but over time, like all these different contributions, it's going to strengthen that machine learning algorithm so that you can develop some sort of AI assistant app, like a farmer assistant, like what you're describing, right?
Yeah.
The more efficient the Ocean protocol becomes, like the data sets that are being like fed into Bittensor over time.
Oh yeah.
Like this is what's going to strengthen and make it like an actual competitor to, things like OpenAI or Deep Brain or all that stuff.
I mean, just imagine. I don't know why I have the example of farming.
Dude, you're ready for the apocalypse, dude.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is how you're gonna prepare.
It's like, how many pigs am I gonna need to feed my family for 30 years?
In the conditions of a nuclear winter.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, dude, that's 6,000.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to eat like 10 pigs a day just to like fight off radiation sickness or something like that.
So yeah, so we're giving examples like how impactful AI is going to be in like all sectors of society.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about farming, like the least like accessible to most humans, I guess. But even they are going to get affected by AI.
Yeah.
Just like everyone else, right? People who used to write articles impacted by AI.
Yeah. For sure.
Eventually, everyone who's driving cars is going to get impacted by AI. So it's this is the idea that you can supply a completely decentralized artificial intelligence with data that is accessible across the planet. That's extremely important.
Absolutely.
And so, Ocean Protocol is just one of those to keep an eye on.
I totally agree, dude. This is I've never had back-to-back days with butterflies, to be honest. Yesterday with Bittensor, now with Ocean. Yeah. And I know there's more pieces to this puzzle, right?
Yeah.
Which, we're Fetch AI, you're next. We're going to look into you too. We're going to add this all together and create this cohesive like alignment, like how all these different protocols are going to enable Web3 AI to exist and to potentially out-compete or become like you said, Bitcoin is without a doubt the most powerful financial system on the planet.
Yeah, yeah.
So the AI version of that is on blockchain is going to become the most powerful AI 100%. On the planet, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. And what we need is more contribution, just like Bitcoin needs more contribution and adoption,
Yeah. That's so true. The biggest computational network is Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it's completely decentralized. And the only way to remove biases from artificial intelligence is to have everybody own it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That way we're all like staked in this. It's not just Microsoft. It's not just
that's right.
Sam Altman. It's all of humanity because this is a technology that, like you said, it's going to impact every single person's life. And if we don't, if it all goes awry, then we're all to blame, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because we're all going to have, we have to achieve consensus in order to manage this thing and to, watch it develop over time.
Yeah, otherwise we'll have to depend on Elon for everything.
For everything, yeah. Can't do that.
Poor guy, man. Jeez. Yeah, he recently just purchased like thousands of GPU units for something. I don't think he's playing video games over there.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So one last look at the I guess the token metrics. Like, what's the market cap?
The market cap, we're looking at 166 million.
Wow. So this is even lower than Bittensor, which Bittensor's market cap isn't actually listed, but it's roughly 200 million-ish.
200 and change, yeah.
So that's how early this whole AI sector is. Like, this is not, they're not even close to like the top like 20.
Yeah. By the way, we were talking about Decentraland when it was in the rank 200 area.
Yeah.
So, and that did a 500x.
Correct.
So
yeah, we said Bittensor has 600x potential. Ocean Protocol being potentially like the primitive of how you're going to feed the Bittensor like network its actual like value, which is the data itself. I could give it like a similar scope of value. So like what we're identifying here are the actual primitives of like the Web3 AI ecosystem.
Yeah.
So,
and these numbers are just for entertainment purposes.
That's it.
Yeah. There's no other purpose beyond predicting when these prices are going to go up.
It's just leaderboard, bragging rights. That's all it is.
Yeah. And man, we got plenty, dude.
Yeah.
We got Mana, we got Matic, and then we got a few others, but Bittensor and Ocean Protocol, they're next, right?
They are definitely next.
They're destined.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna be on this AI train for a minute. Yeah, keep coming in with your suggestions, guys, because man, we're liking this little community that's coming in. You guys are interacting with us and telling us what we don't know, what we should know.
Yeah,
because this is helping us. Like, and we're definitely getting down this rabbit hole. This is exactly where we want to be at this phase of the market. Like, you want to be right here, right now.
Yeah,
you know, finding these types of projects and watching them grow over time.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything else to add, make sure you add it to the comment section below. We appreciate all the comments. Thank you guys for putting us into Ocean Protocol, Bittensor. There's definitely going to be more. We're going to talk about Bittensor a lot more. It's just way too interesting to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
And follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at MetaZone.io, and at Roby AI, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.